Hello, hello, hello. Um, just like Saturday, Facebook is still not behaving properly, so I had to force myself onto my page. So hopefully, you guys can see me. Yeah, I think I'm over there. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi, Brioni. Good morning. Hi, Sue. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Chris. Hi, Mary Sharkey. Hello, Miss Edie. Hi, Trees. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Shonda. Hello, hello. Hi, Sandra. Sandra, I talked to Megan yesterday, and she said she mailed out your goodie box from you winning on Friday. So, yay! You should have that pretty soon. Hi, Lori. How are you? I was waiting for something for you. I will have your last box here packed up. I was waiting for something to send to you that I think you're going to need. You didn't order it, but I think you're going to need. So I was waiting for it, and it came in on Saturday. So I will pack that up. Hi, Deborah. So I can send that off to you. I just want to take a minute to tell you guys thank you so very much. We had a serious influx of orders. That's why I wasn't here yesterday. When I first looked at the queue over the weekend, we had over 25 orders. By the time I was done yesterday, we had over 40 orders in the queue. We finally caught up to like the 6th, I think. We're shipping orders from the 6th. So if you guys don't know, I will tell you, I am incredibly blessed and thankful for y'all's orders. However, I get a mad bout of anxiety when I don't ship your orders out like within what I feel is quick, which is a day or two. So being the fact that I now have orders that are in there from the 6th and we're on the 9th, I have a huge anxiety, and I'm actually having a really big bout of anxiety right now. I don't know. I think that's just from everything. So I might have to take you guys on a field trip because I was looking everywhere and I can't find my pills anywhere here. And so we might have to go on a trip upstairs because unless I can breathe sometime soon, I'm going to need to go get my pills. Oh, you are, Lori. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Carol. Hi, my Ashley. Ashley told me that she got yelled at by you, and I was like, oh no, what'd you do now to get yelled at? And she deserved to be yelled at by, yes, very much so. Thanks, Joy. It was a really, really amazing turnout. Saturday was awesome. It was a very long day. I was really, 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 really tired come yesterday. And then we had all those orders. So I was like, oh, so, yeah, but it was an amazing turnout. It was really awesome. It was very fun. Oh, you're welcome. How are you, Julia? You can wait. Oh, Deborah, actually, I got all 4 of yours because yours was in the way yours fell. You had an order in there that was also older, and so then I seen that you had a bunch of other orders, so I obviously refunded all of the shipping on the 3 orders, and then I combined them all. So yours, if it didn't go yesterday, it's getting picked up today. I know. Get off the chair and go find your pills. We can all talk about you while you're getting your pills. Hi, Cheryl. I love that Teresa did too. We, obviously working for Teresa for so many years, we get to know her and we know a lot. But there's a lot of stuff that she still shares with everybody that we don't even know. And that was something that I didn't know either. And so I thought that was really cool that she shared that. Hi, Michelle Chastain. Hi, Laveda. All right, hold on. Hi, Santa Clean. I'm going to run So I'll be right back because I can't breathe, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Okay, I'm coming. Geez, I couldn't breathe before. And then I have to go run upstairs. Now I really can't breathe. Oh, guacamole. Okay, thank you. Oh my gosh, Lori, thank you for the stars. I know, so I got it because I didn't. She messaged me, and when she was messaging me and telling me why she was getting yelled at, and then she said he stepped in. So I'm excited to see. Oh my gosh, so. Oh, Carol, thank you so much for the stars. So you guys, I never told you that story because I think when it was, I think after it happened, I was on Creative Hour, I think, with Megan. And then I was, training Megan throughout the week. And then Megan was on my channel on Friday. So I haven't been able to tell you guys because, hi, Dale. Because the last thing I want to do is tell a story like this when my boss is on. So one morning, I don't know, Sue, it was obviously a morning that I took Trevor to work. So I'm outside in the backyard, and some of you, when I did a house tour, you guys would have seen, like, I have, like, all of my backyard is all paved, and then it's got, like a, I don't know why they did it, like a rock, it's not a flower bed, but it's intended to be decorative. Anyways, and it's got, like, stones all the way around it. Anyway, so Onyx likes to play ball in the morning, well, all day, let's be honest. So I go out there, get the ball, I throw it, she runs because I've got like a football field back there. So she runs, brings the ball back to me, runs, brings the ball back to me, blah, 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 okay? So when we come back home, hi, Joanne, from taking Trevor to work, we go back in the backyard and she wants to play ball. Oh, no, we go back in the backyard and I give them snacks because I buy them snacks every morning, just like I buy Troy snacks. I buy them little jerky snacks, the little small bites. And so we go in the backyard and they eat their snacks. Well, she was really distracted. She didn't want her snacks. And if you know anything about corgis, they can actually eat themselves to death. And she just kept, like, she was distracted. She didn't want to eat. And I'm like, what is your deal? So anyways, I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm over her. I've got like a handful of snacks and I've got the wrapper. And I start walking over to go to the garbage can. And she takes off and she's doing something. And I look down and there's like a feather. So if you don't know, we have solar panels all around us here. All of the homes around it here have solar panels. And there's a ton of pigeons, annoying pigeons. Well, there's also a hawk. Do you see where we're going with this story? This is the hawk that also, when Onyx brought in the headless pigeon on Thanksgiving while I was in the kitchen cooking. All right, well, so I see a little feather and I look over at Onyx and it is literally a pile of nasty. That's all. We'll just say nasty. It was a pile of nasty. You couldn't even figure out what it was because it was it was like a horror film. And you guys know I love me a good horror flick. I would rather watch horror movies, scary movies, before I watch a love story and crying la la. I don't like that. But that, You guys also know that Nick works graveyard, so he sleeps in the morning. So I'm screaming bloody murder. I'm screaming so loud, the cars on the freeway way over there probably heard me screaming for Onyx to get away from the horror that was on the cement. And I ran up the stairs, came this close to waking up Nick, ran back down the stairs, was freaking out, texting Sue like, oh my gosh. Y'all, let me tell you what. Things don't scare me and I don't get grossed out easy. So just so you know, that actually really, and I think it also grossed me out because knowing that Onyx was so close to it, this is another reason why, and if you like this, more power to you, but this is another reason why I don't let dogs kiss my face, give me kisses on my lips, none of that. Nope, zip, zoo. No. Oh my gosh, I was so tormented. I was like, what? I couldn't walk outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, the dogs are, because Nick, doesn't wake up. This is like at 9 o'clock in the morning. Nick doesn't wake up until like 4:30. I'm like, the dogs are gonna have to go potty in the front yard. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was so off my rocker. Hi, Veronica. You like scary movies too, Lori? Yeah, I don't like to cry and be all when I'm watching the movie. So yeah, I don't like all of that stuff. I would rather be like scared and laughing at all of the graphics and stuff. Okay, so remember when we were here on Friday? I did all of this clay work, and this was just a wooden frame from Hobby Lobby. I did all of this clay work with the Trimmings 4 mold, which was the large one, right? And we did that all the way around. You can see that there's a lot of separation that's happening because obviously the clay has now shrunk because it's dried. Hi, Laurel. How are you? My eye is leaking as usual. It's either my eye's leaking or my nose is running. So anyways, so we are going to do some really cool stuff. I typically don't care about the breaks like this. However, where I mitered down here, you can see there's a definite line there and a definite line here. I don't like that, so we're going to cover that. So we're going to take the Ranger Texture Paste in Opaque Matte, and we're just going to work some of that through there just to cover that it's a definite, the defined line that's right there. I don't like that. Oh, thanks, Laurel. Similar situation for me, but my sweet Sadie brought half a dead bird in the house. I was so grossed out. On Thanksgiving, I was literally in the kitchen, Mary, and I was doing my thing, making food, and Trevor is standing down here talking to me, and the next thing he's doing is going, huh, huh, and he runs up the stairs, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? I was aggravated because I'm making food, and he's like, Onyx just brought in a pigeon, and it has no head, and I'm like, what? Once again, I'm like, go get your uncle. Go get your uncle. So I didn't see the pigeon because literally I'm trying to make food. I don't want to get grossed out. So I didn't see the food, and I was very, very surprised that Trevor even ate that day because Trevor is he's a funny like that. Like he will get very grossed out, and he, the textures of food will make him lose his appetite. And so I'm actually really surprised. And because I didn't see it that day, like I would be, had he not been such a wow about it, I have 3 older brothers, so during their first bite I would have been talking mess, like, grossing them out. But yeah, I can't mess with Trevor like that because he would have probably. All right, so we're just going to take a little bit of the Ranger paste, and like I said, I'm just getting rid of the line. I'm not trying to fill in everything. I just want to make it so you can't see that, distinct line there. But yeah, so because I, didn't look, I guess, on Thanksgiving, I got paid back that day. Yeah, Sue just thought it was a hoot and a half. She was like making fun of me and all of this other stuff. And it wasn't that I was like I said, the stuff that bothered me more was that Onyx was so close to it. And Onyx's, it must have been like on Thursday, because I know Onyx got groomed the next day. And I was even telling Onyx, I'm like, you're so lucky the groomer's coming for you, you dirty girl. It's like, I know. Hola, Ari. How's mama? There was a tiny white worm. Oh, yuck. Yeah, and that's what Nick was like. She's bringing it to you, like she's giving you a gift. I'm like, no. Craft supplies, molds, clay, paint. Don't bring me a flippin' bird. It's like, no. If you want to bring me a gift, you bring me these kind of gifts. You don't bring me a headless pigeon. No. All right, so as you can see now, just doing that little bit, and the camera, I keep fussing with it, y'all, because this is straight on my desk, but the camera, as always, is crooked. But now you can see that line is gone, and now I'm good. All of this other stuff where it has shrunk, I'm okay with, because we're gonna see the paint under there. And I'm super excited because I want to use this color, which is, look at that. So this is gold amber. So I want to use this color. But first, before we do that, we're going to paint it. We might even use some of the Tiger's Eye stones too. I think we will. But let's get out some of the impasto. We're just going to lay a base down first. I'm going to put this over here, and we're going to do some really cool stuff to this too. And I'm going to get a little bit of the ivory again, just to knock this back so it's not such a dark brown. And I actually think, try to think what brush I want with this. Let's use let's use this one, because it's soft, but it's going to be firm enough to get down in there. Hi, Melissa Joins. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Miss Kathy. Hi, Rochelle. I just got a shovel. I had 2 watchdogs because they rolled in poo. Oh, yeah. See, now you guys know, like, unfortunately, poo and all of that, so like that stuff doesn't bother me. And it was just, again, I think what was more in my head was how close Onyx was and how interested she was. And I was just like, oh, heck no. Like, did you eat? Like, she's going to answer me. Nick always messes with me when I talk to the dogs. He's like, are you waiting for them to answer you? And I'm, oh, you hush. Because I'm like, Onyx, did you eat that? You better not have eaten any of that. She's just looking at me like, are you all right? Mind you, this is like early in the morning that I'm screaming bloody murder. All right, so we're just going to come over here. And no rhyme or reason. Let me get a little bit of water. And again, I'm just knocking back that chocolate color just a little bit so that it's not so dark. I want to make it a little loose, as runny, if you will, so that it sinks down to the wood as well. I'm telling you, the people on the freeway in their cars with the windows rolled up heard me screaming that morning. Hi, Cynthia Diane. We've had Expand Pace for a long time. Do you guys remember the project that I showed you that was under the cloche with the staircase? I have Expand Paste in there. We've had Expand Paste for a long time. My Expand Paste is actually up there. Yeah. You guys, also, a lot of the things that you guys see here in the States, it's not new necessarily to PintArt. Like I said, I have things in my cabinets from when I was on PintArt's design team, because when you're on the design team, you get access to the entire catalog. But we do not have the entire catalog in the US. So yeah, so we've had Expand Paste for, God, long time, years. It was brought in when we brought in everything else. So again, I'm using a bigger brush. It is softer, but it's going to be a little firm enough to get down in the grooves there. So, did you guys have a good time watching the event? I just thought the creators all did such a good job. Megan did such a good job. Hi, Jill. Yeah, it is absolutely, it's not new at all. Sorry. You know, Onyx knocks my footstool way underneath my desk. Whenever Troy starts messing with her, she gets underneath the desk and starts messing around. I also see one of her balls down underneath my desk. Yeah, you know, Jill, I just think I just think it's all funny. It's very, very funny, that whole situation. I think it's hilarious. I know, it was fun, right? I know. And that was another thing. I was like, man, obviously typing all the names on the wheel too. You guys were there the entire time. And I was so happy that there were a few names that had won that I didn't recognize. But, selfishly, whenever one of you all win, I'm like, yay! Jill. Jill. Oh my gosh. Hi, Terry. Troy. Terry. Yes, Sue. Yes. And it's making me it's maddening. It's maddening. See, look, it says out for delivery. You never believe me. You never believe me when I talk. Oh, Terry, you an order have your name is spelled with 2 R's. Okay. I think maybe it was just a typo because your order came in and I think it was you. I think it was you. Didn't you order my store? Anyways, your name was spelled with 1 R. And I was like, have I been spelling her name wrong this entire time? Hi, Miss Donna Sue. Oh, you were traveling? Oh, and that's another thing. I have a really bad kink in my neck, which is, lovely. Okay, so once we've got, I'm being easy up here because I will brush the backs of those with resin, what's sticking up off of the frame there. So I'm not worrying about painting it so much right now with this brush because I don't want to knock it. And then, can you not call Lori? Although I'm sure she would love to talk to you. He's trying to call you, Lori. Although she would probably love to talk to you. Can you just not call her? All right. But didn't you know, Sue, like, let me stop. You're going to get me in trouble, Sue. Sue's trying to get me in trouble. You didn't order. Okay. Maybe it's another Terry then. Maybe the other Terry I've been spelling her name incorrect this entire time. Oh, I can't wait to get this on there. Oh, I'm so excited for that color. Hi, Barbara Ross. See, now Onyx will come and knock my footstool back. I don't know why, but yesterday, so some of you know that I am Dina Ray, asked me to present at her next retreat next year. And you guys know I've been to the retailer retreat, but I've never been to a retreat with you guys, and last night I was talking to Nick because, I'm obviously, you guys know that I have been doing the cash stuffing for for a few months now, which has been going really great. And so I'm obviously saving money for that whole thing. And last night I was having dreams, very lucid dreams about my project. Which one, Terry? Are you talking about the Regal Flourish mold? I think I'm sold out of that one. If you're talking about that one that I used on the baubles. And also redesign is sold out as well, because after this weekend I reordered a lot of stuff. But anyways, so I had dreams about my project and what to do. Oh, I have a pretty amazing idea, y'all. Now, my only thing is I don't know how much time I get. I would imagine it's only going to be like an hour, maybe an hour and a half at most. So I need to figure out how to do this in the time frame. And also, obviously, it has to be something that everybody can do and will enjoy doing. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's not something that I've done here on live. There's a lot of things that I don't do on live. I don't know why. I think I just get, I don't know. I get into that rut of doing the same stuff over and over again. And then I think that sometimes people don't like to see some of the other things. Like they like, you know, the upcycles and the stuff like that, but they don't like so much mixed media stuff. I don't know. Once we get the bulk of this painted, then I'll go around and make sure the edges and, you know, all of that is painted. I just know if I concentrate on trying to paint that now, I'm going to get it on my shirt. Yeah, it's not there. It had flowers all over it. Okay, well, I haven't taken anything off of my site. It would just be sold out. So I don't know what I would have used. I don't take anything off of my site. It says sold out, but like I haven't removed anything from my site as far as a product goes. I was going to order this weekend, but couldn't find the gold glaze paste that they all got. Oh, so it's okay, Chris. Wait a minute, because I actually, well, you should have, because, well, my favorite was in there. We're going to actually use my favorite today. But I ordered a few more of them, and I seen that it was already shipped out. So hopefully it'll be here in the next couple of days. So if you didn't see it, Chris, it'll be here. And I added a couple of other colors. I will paint the back of this frame because I already know. Hi, Tina. I already know that it's going to have streaks of brown anyways, especially on, because I'm painting the glass on this side over here. Kay, you lucky duck. When you guys seen, or if you guys did, but Kay won one of the mystery boxes, and I just started giggling. I was like, I swear, Kay needs to buy us all lottery tickets. She has got luck, man. I'm going to work on a table for the living room. I wanted it for that. I didn't see it. I will look again. Yeah. Because if it's something that I have in my store, I didn't remove any molds from my store. If anything, it'll just say sold out. And I can't remember anything that I used with flowers last week, but that doesn't mean anything. Y'all know my memory is not very good. Troy, your friends are saying hi to you. So you guys know I use the water to thin it out, and also so that it will sink down to the bottom there. And there is going to be white that's showing and all of that stuff. It's all right. We will, by the time everything's all said and done, it will either blend in and look like it's part, like we meant to do that. Oh, this mold, the IOD mold. Oh, duh. This mold that I just used, well, you see, it's on my desk, so it threw me off. Yeah, so this mold, you can get it at any IOD stockist. So like L&J Goods has it, Vintage Retail Therapy has it, Sweet and Sassy, Scrappy Rustics, any IOD stockist. And it's the Trimmings 4. Sorry, it threw me off because it's on my desk, so I wasn't even thinking about it being this mold, because I don't know why. Just had a moment, I guess. But yeah, I guess these are these are flowers, aren't they? Duh. All right, so we're going to dry this a little bit, because once we get this dry, we're going to see even more of the clay come through. And then, really hand plug me. Okay, I see how you are. Oh my goodness. Yes, we're definitely going to the tiger's eyes. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. Because this actually didn't do anything as far as putting the brown on, and just took it all from white to brown, so you still can't see any of the definitions. But once we start doing all of that, so you guys won't hear me complain about my scraps for a minute, because I sent Ashley a box yesterday or whatever, today, whatever day it was, or whatever I did. I packed it, and I put all the scraps in there again. Hi, Mac. Hi, Patty. Okay, Laveda. Hi, Miss Connie. Okay, so now you can see all of the white that's coming through. We all knew that was gonna happen. So I'm gonna get a little bit more of the impasto down. And then I'm going to take, oh, I keep thinking I'm sitting on my phone, but I just put it back up on the dock. I'm gonna take a little bit of a smaller brush, and then let's get the rim in here. Actually, I'm gonna come at it this way so I can get behind the leaves. First. Thank you. Let's get down in there. I'm just excited. I can't, this part is all necessary. Obviously, we have to get the base color down, but this is when I get like super impatient because I want to do all of the other things already. All right. Now I'm going to turn it upright, and then going to once again come in with a lot more water. And again, it's just to thin the paint down so that it sinks down to the board. Obviously, you're thinning out the paint, so you might have to go over it, again, if you want it to be a little more opaque. But I will tell you, when you have something that has so much detail like this, just thinning your paint down will make it a lot easier for you to paint. But the impasto paints, they're fairly thick, and I love them when they're the proper consistency. But this dark chocolate and the pitch black are awesome. Hi, Bubs. Where are you going? Are you moving out? You're all packed up and ready to go. Huh? Are you moving? Oh. So I was on my way to pick up Trevor, and I had a funny number calling me. And, probably like most of us, if somebody calls you from an unidentified phone number. Hi, Tanya. If you're getting called from an unidentified, phone number. You don't answer the phone call. So, and 90% of the time, they don't leave a message, which is another reason why, because it's a spammer, right? It's coming, Troy. Anyways, so this time, whoever was calling me left a message, and so I thought, oh, must be important. Let me listen. Hello, Terry. This is Officer so-and-so from the so-and-so police department. Can you check Troy's phone? He's calling 911 again. Y'all. I'm thankful, though, that at least I know this last time that the officer was here when I wore my lovely shirt that, welcome to camp, quit your bitching shirt. Yeah. That officer, at least I know that officer actually did put the phone number on file. Yeah. But I made Nick laugh because, again, you guys know I do the cash stuffing. I told Nick, I said, I need to start an envelope that says fines. Ari, are you still here? Are you asking me to find that, Ari? You said I don't know if you'd be interested, or I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm reading that wrong. Do you need me to find that for you? But yeah. So it's nice to know that the nice man, the nice officer who didn't take offense to my very offensive shirt, actually put my number in the queue, unlike the first officer who told me he was going to do so and did it. Yeah. So, So, I immediately grabbed Troy's phone and I was like, Troy. Yeah, there was calls on there. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Nick started laughing at me because I said, I'm serious. I'm going to start an envelope that says fines because it's going to happen. And I would understand it, y'all. That's not something, it's funny because it's Troy, but it's not funny because, that's obviously not something. I wish I could stop it. I mean, the only thing I can do is take the phone away from him, and you guys know I can't do that. So, all right. So now let's dry it. Okay, Ari, I'll look for it for you. I'll find it. Maris? Mortuary. Oh, yeah. No, he's straight. Hi, Terry. This is Officer so-and-so from so-and-so police department. Can you please check Troy's, he said tablet. Can you please check Troy's tablet? He's calling 911 again. You're just so daggone cute. Thank you for the kisses. I don't think so, Mary. I don't think so, Matt. No, Papa's when IOD comes. Excuse me? When Amazon comes, he will bring it for you. I just like you can't block the number because we tried everything. We tried blocking the number on the phone. We tried removing the app. We tried everything, and I even told one of the police officers that one time. I was like, I've tried everything. He said, yeah, no, it's a safety feature that all phones, cell phones, pay phones, wherever they may still have those, it still has the ability to call 911. It has to. So I don't know if they can actually block it. I doubt it. Probably not. Yeah. Oh, I would be. Hi, Patricia. I would be asking for a world of hurt to try to take his phone away. Do you guys remember, some of you who have been with me forever, do you guys remember when he used to leave the phone on the bus? And when he would leave the phone on the bus on a Friday? That, oh. Or just leave it at school and they would tell me that they couldn't find it and I would have to buy a new one and wait for it to come from eBay. Y'all, just those experiences alone, I would never, ever try to take that away. It is, it would make for a really difficult life for me and him. All right. So again, we can see a lot of that white. If that bugs you, then you're going to probably want to sit here for a long period of time to get all of that white out. I'm not trying to do all of that. I'm just going to embrace it. So hold on a minute. Where are my Princeton filberts? There you are to save the day. Yes, you. Yes, you. Yes, you. All right. I know I should not put you guys in water, but I'm going to because this is in my way. Thank you kindly. All right. OMG, remember when he was without one? Yes. Hey, Shannon. Hi, Sarah. Y'all, when he used to leave it on the bus, I remember that he left it at school. This is Tiger's Eye Stone. And they tried to tell me that he didn't leave it at school and it was on the bus. And the bus tried to tell me that it wasn't on the bus, that it was at school. And it was so aggravating that I just went on and bought him another one. But I had to obviously wait for it to get delivered. And when it's lost on a Friday, it takes longer because it has to go through the weekend, blah, 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 blah. And then I remember that same one, the school found it in between the couch cushions in the classroom. Like, really? That's how y'all feel? You don't do that to me? All right, I don't know why that's still in there, but that's just asking for trouble. You guys already know that's death to your product. The reason why I didn't dry it out is because I had that silver on there, but I am going to use my yes. So I'm using a filbert because it is very soft, and we are just going to come on all of this and use this as a dry brush. However, I'm not going to tap that all off of the brush like we would if we were dry brushing. And we're just going to the little things just make me so happy. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. What were those? We talked about that before. The Sesame Street guys, right? Yep. Right, let's get. Now this is just the first color. We are going to take this Mama Jamma in a minute. Oh, sucky now. This is beautiful. Aww. Hi, Luann. Oh, Luann, I'm sorry. Don't yell at me. I know it's bad. Oh, Luann. I know it's bad, Luann. I feel bad that he does it. I really do, y'all. And I know that it's probably very irresponsible that but I can't stop it. I don't, there's no way to stop it unless I take the phone from him. And although he has computers and tablets galore, there's just nothing like the phone, right? That's exactly why I said not to put that in the water. Don't put it in the water, Terry, but you put it in the water anyways. You can check the statue station to see if they could find you. I'm pretty sure they can find me, Luann, because when the boy, in the neighboring city, when we lived in the neighboring city, the boys had the house line when we had home phones, and they fined me $150. So I'm assuming it's just because they're just being very kind to me that they haven't fined me yet. Because the neighboring city, when we lived there, shoot, they came out, and within a couple of days, I had the fine in the mail. They didn't even tell me I was going to be fined. Yeah. So they came out and bring. I don't remember that part. I just remember them going yep. So they came out, knocked on the door, and they are like, "Is everything okay?" And I said, "Yes, everything's okay." And he says, "You have an open line to 911." And I was like, what? And on the floor, I don't know which one of them did it. I'm assuming it was Troy. On the floor in between the boys, because they weren't walking yet. They were babies. They were literally little. On the floor next to them, in the middle of them, was the house phone. You know, those cordless, like Motorola VTech phones. And it had the open line to 911 still. And so I apologized and hung it up, obviously. But yeah, the week wasn't even up, and I had a $150 fine in the mail. I was like, well, whoopsie doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. The pumpkin? Oh, yeah, the pumpkin with the branch and the owl. You didn't see the little owl that I put on here? And the pumpkin? This pumpkin? I assume you meant this pumpkin, right? So yeah. I guess I'm just assuming that it's just the city is being more tolerant. But I'm sure that's not going to last very long. Although we have been here for the past however many years, and they've always been very tolerant. So, but Hold on, Pops. Hold on. I'm not ignoring you. Hold on. I'll do it, though. I don't want you pulling the plug out of there, because... All right, so that is our first color. It's not very light at all, but it has that beautiful... It's a very rich color. All right, Troy, hold on a minute. No. You hold this because... Okay? Because when you start yanking around the keyboard, we lose connection to everything. Okay, see you later, Mac. For the record, I was saying that was so wrong about the school bus not knowing. Yeah. And the thing is like, I would tell them, because I asked, right? Because I said, look, Troy really loves his phone, but I get it if you guys don't want it to go to school, if you don't want it on the bus, because, I would really appreciate if you could help just keep an eye on it. So, like, when he leaves the bus, make sure that it's on him. When he's cleaning up, make it part of his program when he's cleaning up, which they did. They actually had it part of his IEP, which was kind of funny, that, he clean up and pack his backpack and, make sure he has his phone, yada, yada, yada. But every now and again, there would be moments where it was like, I don't know. Like, y'all, I kind of need somebody to know. Like, it's pretty important. I need somebody to know. Okay, so as you can see, this is what we're looking at with the picture inside with just the tiger's eye stones. So now we're going to go in, and this again is gold amber. I'm going to see if I want it a little bit more. So now I'm not going to hit this entire piece. Hold, please. Hold on a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I haven't used this in a few days. Let's not and say we did, because it's gonna try to attack me. I already know. Okay. All right. Bye, Ari. Have a great dinner. That just makes me sad for them to do that, get revenue from other. Hi, Miss Linda Johnson. Yeah. But again, like I said, I realize, like, you're taking the time of the operator, the police officers that were dispatched, and it was nothing. Like, I get it. I don't want that to happen, but I get why they did it. All right, we're just gonna go in with a little bit of the white. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Like, I'm so super thankful that currently they're being very understanding and tolerant of the situation. But, you know, it's not totally surprising that the other town billed me with the quickness. That's kind of the way that town is. So, unlike the Tiger's Eye stones, I'm not trying to go on every piece. Thank you for sprinkling. We're just wanting to give it a ton of dimension with some layered colors and all right. And then you will notice as it's drying down, because this one is not, it's not a super bright white. As it's drying down, it will darken up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our gold amber. I'm going to bring you guys down so you guys can see. Okay. Oh, thank you, Laurel. Thank you, Sandy. All right. So, again, I know it's kind of hard because this isn't inside of it, but if you can see where I'm going with the different colors. Now I can see it. This is it. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. Wasn't even thinking of it being this one sitting right in front of my face. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so this is the IOD Trimmings 4. Okay, I don't even know what mold I used last week. I scare myself, I know. So the difference between the orange, the gold, amber, and the Tiger's Eye stones is it's very subtle, but when you're closer, you can actually see the difference between the two. So I don't know if it's going to translate to you on camera. That's why I kind of stared at it and looked for a minute to see. I can see it here, but the color transition on screen, they look very similar, and almost like that color underneath. It looks like I'm putting it right back on, but I'm not. It's a different color, as you guys know. It woke up, huh, Chris? Like, I'm here, I'm awake. And so I was saying, like, we still couldn't get the real gist of it, because after it was all white, then I made it all brown, and you still couldn't really tell what was going on. But now we're finally able to see all of the details. All right, so I'm going to, just for a minute, set this under here. And then I'm going to pull hold on. Hold it. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of the red flame. Okay. So we're going to take some of that red flame and we're going to be a little more intentional with where we're putting the color. And I'm actually using the filbert just to kind of blend that in. So can you guys see? I'm just being a little more intentional. It's not going to go on every one of them. And we're just using the filbert just to blend it out. Since I am using a smaller brush and I don't want it to just have harsh start and stops. I'm assuming that's Troy's phone case. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Oh, thank you so much. All right. So, again, we're just going to... All right, you guys. Onyx. I'm sure Troy will come yelling at me, too. So, again, you do not want that... Now, why didn't I just use a bigger brush so that I didn't have to blend it out? I just want to be more intentional with where I'm placing it. So, using a bigger brush, yes, it would have blended out by itself, but it also would have hit way more than I wanted. But if I don't blend it out, let's move this again. If I don't blend it out and I show you guys, so let's bring you into right here. So let's not blend it, and then you're gonna be able to see. All right, I'm gonna put it here. So do you see how by not... Hi, Sandy Triplet. Oh, you can, but I just want a little bit of cool weather, Lisa. Bring on the fall. Just bring on a little bit of coolness, too. So can you guys see the difference? That is how it looks very strange, right? So I'm just going to go in there and blend that out. See now? And you can even tell how over here where it's sunk down. So that's the only reason why I'm using the filbert now, and that's just because I'm using, you see how much smaller of the brush, so that way it doesn't hit more than what I want, but also I can still blend it out. I know I need to go anywhere. Just go start heading east, and I think that I'll get what I want. is my AC has still yet to get turned off. The fan's still blowing on high. Okay, so let's do a little bit more. And then we'll start working on the rice paper. What's up? I know. That's probably what you've been waiting for, huh? I know. Alright. We don't want to forget to just a little bit, bring it so that the color is there somewhere. I got it, bud. Thank you. Okay. Troy and Onyx, stop. Onyx, don't make him fall. Come on. Thank you, son. 67? Beautiful weather. All right. I think now we have a nice little blend. Another color that was really pretty was the Fire Ruby. You can see though the Fire Ruby is very, very, very rich. It would probably, I mean, it's pretty, but it blends in a lot. So, I mean, both would be very pretty, but all right. This filbert over here I didn't use. Let's put you back over there. And I believe I used you for dry brushing. Okay, let's throw this in here. 53? So we're about to head into fall. So you're about to head into spring, right? Okay. So here is our... Oh, it's going to go this way. Right? Yeah, it's going to go this way. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, let's do some work. It's so pretty. Oh, why didn't I do something with my hair? Okie dokie, artichoke. Oh, I can't handle that. Okay. So let's get out. Why have I not figured out which one of these should be in here? Let me guess. You used both of them though because you're a goober. Yep, you used them both. All right, well, I'll just leave them both out. Okay. We are going to play. Let us play. Let us play. So this one is a glitter pin in gold. I will tell you whenever I'm using the pins like this, whether it be the pins that are the bigger ones or the contour liners, I don't squeeze constantly. I squeeze a little bit and use the tip of that to move around the color that I have placed down. And also another thing that I try to be aware of is like anytime there's that, shadowing, what the heck kind of speaking? Anytime there's shadowing down, I am very careful that I don't take away all of the dimension by putting down, the pins. So these are glitter pins. These are contour liners. So yeah, and then, so I use the tip a lot. They are very, very, very different from stickles in the sense that you can't work with stickles, right? Whenever you put them down, that needs to be your last step because stickles takes forever to dry. That is not the case with these. They actually dry a lot quicker, and if you hit it with the heat gun, the surface will dry, and then you can start working with it a lot quicker. I will tell you though, just like our snow pins and ice pins, you want to pop that top off. You see it comes off very easily. You want to pop it off when you're done using it and just go run it in the sink. It will just make your life so much easier for the next time you use it because it is glitter. You see all of that thick glitter. So that's going to get stuck in there and give you problems the next time you go to squeeze it out. We might have to get a proper pin. Why are you bringing me my makeup, son? Okay, here, Troy, let me just do it, babe. Oh, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. It's the wrong one. All right. So I'm going to now just take, so this was the glitter pin. This is the crystal pin. So all of the paste that you've seen the creators using on Saturday, these are the same thing, just in a pin form. Okay. So like you've seen, a lot of them have that red, they have the gold. So if you wanted it in the pin form, it is available. It's going to come out the same way. It's going to still have that milky, look at that. That's exactly why you just make it life so much easier. It's going to have that milky look, but once it dries down, It's just going to be that beautiful glitter. So we're just going to go to the veins. Oh, I was like, where is that leaf? How is that facing? It's this way. So right now you can see that it's got like that white, okay? But that will all go away once it starts to dry down. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit so that there's a little bit of sparkle that's going to peek out of the side of the frame from this. Okay, hi Phyllis. Okay, so now in the actual veining of the, let's see. Actually, I don't know that I want. Okay, I don't know if you guys just seen what happened. Do you see that blue? Again, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. It's just the fact that you know, just like when your paint settles, so you may need to kind of work the color through. Yep, squish and mix. Just be careful because when you squish it too much and then it's gonna go poof, and that will not be nice. No, we don't need the nails done. Okay. Okay. Just a little something, something. You can obviously tell you can get these lines as thin or as thick as you want them. It could actually be a lot thicker. Can you guys see? Okay. Very cool. All right. Now, I want to get the a little bit of veining. And I may have to open it split down at the bottom there, and that's why I have tape on there. So obviously if you push down too hard here, it's gonna come out here as well. So I have a new one. We may just need to open the new one because I can't remember why I was using it so much, but I was. And yeah, it's just better to be tossed because like I said, it's going to, that's why I had to put the blue tape on because it was trying to come out both sides. Just make sure you have sealed the paint first, Chris. Just make sure you seal it first. And then you'll be fine. A varnish, a top coat, and whichever top coat you're using. I noticed everybody was cutting these on Saturday, you don't have to cut it. It's already open. But if you know anything about me, you know one thing I'm not going to do is like correct somebody on a live or try to do something like that, because I don't know, I just feel like that's embarrassing. And it doesn't hurt that they were snipping it, but you don't have to snip it because it's already, you guys see I didn't snip it at all. I'm trying to see, there's not very definite veining or anything on this one, so I'm just going to do some of the little outer edges of it just to give it some accent of the copper. Can you guys see over here that milky white is already drying down, and now you're just getting left with the beautiful like glitter? All right. I was good and didn't say anything. Yeah. I was like, no, you don't need to. I was thinking to myself that you don't need to cut it, but I was like, it's not hurting anything. If it, obviously though, the further down you go, you know, it's getting a little bit thicker. So, but it's not gonna hurt anything. Okay. If these are plugged, I'm not gonna fuss with them, which they're acting like they are. All right, this one isn't. So this one is literally just the transparent. And all I'm going to do with this one is just to give the writing just a little bit of gloss and shine. And then some of the, of course, this one of all of them wants to come out like crazy. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that top back on for a minute, and I'm going to scoot this stuff back down the tube. So this is going to dry down all the way, and you're just going to see just a little bit of shine on there. Because of the finer tip too, if you wanted to use this as like an adhesive, you could, and like sprinkle some of the glitters or whatever you wanted in here, like a very fine glitter, because it would hold it. But for right now, like I said, we're just going to Just so that the books have a little bit of something on them. Looks like I forgot something, didn't I? Okay. Let's just hit it with the heat gun just a little bit so that it's literally dried enough for us to slip it back in the frame. Yeah. So again, if you don't want it thick, don't snip the top. All right, we're just going to dry this a little bit. You're welcome. See now over here in this corner, all that like the white went away, and now all you see is just the sparkle. You guys know if you use Stickles, you would never be able to touch it like this. So these lines here are a little thicker, but if you can see, if I can get, so right here, there's just a little bit of shine so that there's just a little something on the books. These will take a little bit more because they're a little bit thicker, where on the binding there was some other stuff going on there. Like the little accents of it, you know how it's thicker. That it? Just those two. And then, like I said, I will go through and paint all of this back here. I will paint it brown. This side is vicious. She's purty. Thank you, Helen. Hello, mouse. Come here. Shame I need Christmas. My eye's been leaking that whole time. How cool! And the frame, if you guys remembered, was just a wood frame. So, and then you can see all the detail in the pumpkin. That will again dry down, and then you'll just see when the light moves, there's just a little bit of shine. There you go. Just to give some little bit of definition to the books in little 3D. And then obviously you can see that is almost dried down all the way. The leaves there, so all of that milkiness has gone away, and it just has a little bit of glitter. But I think it's so pretty. Thank you. But yeah, this one I may even just put a sawtooth hanger on here once I paint it. But and then you could have done so much more. Like you could have stuck something even on the outside of the molds here if you wanted to, but I just thought the pumpkins are so pretty, and then just adding a little bit of detail. So because yeah, I will probably put a sawtooth, because I hate these when you got to measure to make sure you've got them the same distance and all of that stuff. So thank you. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow. I had something that I wanted to do tomorrow, but I can't remember now what it is. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But obviously, we'll figure out something new to do tomorrow. It was probably in one of my dreams, like I was talking about yesterday. Weird. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Talk to you. Freaking mouse. Talk to you later. Bye.